Matt Weston is a young CIA operative who runs a safe house in Cape Town, and a safe house is kind of like a safe harbor for other CIA agents to come and stay the night, or a place where you would pass on intel. Occasionally, it's a place where you'd interrogate somebody. But a safe house is just that. It's a safe place for CIA agents to kind of gather. And Matt is a housekeeper. It was the kind of nickname they use for someone of Matt's profession. And I just take care of this safe house. It's an incredibly low-level CIA job. It's boring. It's one of those. It's a sort of a penance you have to pay in the CIA. You have to do your time there, and then you can kind of move on to more exciting stuff. But in the case of Safe House, the film, the exciting stuff comes to Matt before he gets to go to it. Tobin Frost is he's a former CIA agent who he went off book and went rogue, and he's kind of like the Aldrich Ames of this generation. He's a guy that has sold countless intelligence secrets to various opposing nations to the United States, and billions of dollars worth of intel as well. And he's a guy that seems to have an incredible fortitude for moral flexibility. He doesn't really follow any kind of particular ethics or morals in any way, shape, or form. He's definitely a guy that walks the line. He toes the line of the CIA. He's a guy that goes by the book. He's a guy that doesn't, ever, step out of bounds. And by the end of the film, he's just really just trying to stay alive by whatever means necessary. So you just see that huge shift. If you spend time with Daniel, you kind of see where he's coming from. I mean, he's like this, he's unlike anyone I've ever worked with or even met before. I mean, he's like this incredibly wise, intuitive, intellectual thug, which is sort of a weird combination for a person. So it gives him this incredible street sense and this feeling like he's a guy who could very easily be in a bar fight, and at the same time, he could be, you could name any book and there's a good chance that he's read it before you. It was seen with great action in it. It has to be done in a way that's inventive and new and something you haven't seen before. And I just like how Olivier's style and how he's approached the fight scenes in this particular film. There's nothing polished about it. There's no kung fu. Matt is not a trained fighter. So, when we are, in these scenes, these intense fight scenes, you're seeing, veins popping out of people's necks, and, it's ugly and nasty, and it's kill or be killed. And there's something kind of raw and primal and deeply screwed up about it. And, I think that's gonna have people leaning into him a little bit more than, something like that you would see in The Matrix, or, even Born Identity. I think it's much more interesting to watch a guy who is forced to fight when he doesn't want to, than it is to see someone who's very, well versed in this kind of activity. I think it's one of those films that, you're really gonna have an opportunity to see a variety of different things. I mean, I think it appeals to people who are just, pure adrenaline action junkies, and at the same time, it's a character piece. I mean, as actors, I think, none of us are particularly attracted to just shooting a movie that is an action film, because they're hard. I mean, you get your ass kicked. It's tough getting up off the ground. I remember 10 years ago, falling on cement was hilarious. Now it hurts. It feels just like cement. But we're attracted to the film because it's a character piece, and I think that those two, when you get those two components right, when you have an action film that is also deeply rooted in character, you get something really incredible and rewarding out of it for both sides. People that are coming to look for both aspects.